He took a video of us being intimate without my knowledge.
He's not the villain that everyone thinks he is.
With your brain completely engaged.
You're talking to me like I'm stupid, and I'm not stupid.
Hello, my Panda Pals, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing on our little journey with the Part 3 tell-all for Before the 90 Days Season 7, aka the most chaotic tell-all that I have ever had the displeasure of covering, where somehow everything is happening and yet absolutely nothing is happening. So far, we have learned that Brian still sucks, Tiger Lily actually really sucks, Adnan tried to suck as hard as he can and he succeeded, and Loren tried to suck harder than Adnan, but he just keeps on getting outsucked. Okay, there is just a whole lot of sucking going on. Anyway, buckle it up and let's keep on riding this train wreck. Last episode, Niles was getting all up in Adnan's face for basically being a little bitch. But security is able to calm him down, and Niles finds comfort in the knowledge that if Adnan ever disrespects a Texan the way that he disrespected him, his ass is grass.
Adnan the bitch ass, if he runs his mouth to a Texan the way he ran his mouth to me, parts of him would be found.
Everyone heads on stage, and since Bojo is back from his very important cinematography meeting, we pivot back to Vanya and say hello to Yosko. Sean asks him what he thinks about Bojo, and Yosko says he doesn't really understand how you can build a relationship up for 8 months, only to break up with that person on the very first day that you meet IRL.
I really don't understand what was going through Boja's head. She's a true gem. You cannot find a girl like that very often in your life.
I like how both of these men are like, Vanya, she is amazing. Like, she is a real diamond in the rough. Any man would be lucky to have her. I just, don't want that man to be me. We then get Yoshko's side of the story about how their breakup happened, and he tells us that the two of them talked twice a day, every single day, and not once did Vanya ever ask about how his son was doing. He continues to throw his son under the bus, and he tells us that when he hung up on her, it was because his son was sick, and that is also why he did not call her back for a whole week. He also confirms that yes, he did call Vanya needy when she told him that he cannot just go MIA for a whole week on his girlfriend.
She mentioned we have to talk very often, so I told her that she's a needy and I will call her later.
Vanya calls his ass out, and she says that he was being very condescending, and he was all, oh, okay, well, I'll give up my son and my job and drop everything in my entire life and devote every single second to you. And then he hung up on her. So, turns out, Yosko is also a giant butthole. Sean obviously pivots the conversation towards sex because Vanya was basically a born-again virgin when she met Yosko, and Vanya starts to get super emotional.
Being intimate with somebody for me is a big deal. I don't know if I want to say I want to take it back, but I wish I didn't.
So Vanya's feeling used, and Yosko defends himself, saying that his game plan when he went to Orlando was not to bang and then bounce. And then he decides we are gonna get way too close, way too fast.
Sex-wise, we did like 1 or 2 positions all the time. Either I'm too big for her or she's too small for me.
So let me see if I'm understanding correctly. He is complaining that the sex was too vanilla, and it must be because he was slanging too much dong.
Wow, thank you for sharing. I wasn't gonna go here, but I'm gonna share it now that you shared that.
And now Vanya is like, oh, fuck this bitch. And she tells us the real dirt on Yosko.
Without my knowledge, he took a video of us being intimate.
What? That's not good, Yosko.
Trash! Oh my god, this man is trash. Magda, send in Hades because we've got another penis that is begging to be turned into a squeaker toy. So Yosko tries to defend himself, and he says that he brought up the idea of making a sexy video one day to try and spice things up, and Vanya didn't respond by slapping him across the face or spitting in his eyeball, so he took that as like implied consent to do it whenever he wanted without giving her a heads up.
We talked about it, and in my head, I developed a story about the consent, but it wasn't there.
Just a little heads up, buddy. Saying I imagined the consent in my head is not really a great defense. So apparently, Yosko did show her the video right after he filmed it, and Vanya was obviously appalled, and she made him delete it right away, and Yosko apologized. But if his apology is anything like the apology we are about to see, that man was not sorry.
It's not something that I'm proud of. I could not find words to describe how sorry I am because of that.
There was not a single emotion behind those eyes, just a dead abyss of emptiness. Vanya tells us she did end up going back to Croatia to try and reconnect with Yosko, but obviously it did not go anywhere.
Yosko, why did you agree to meet Vanya?
You wanted to have sex with her?
Yosko does not super appreciate being mocked for being an asshole.
Have some respect, please.
You take a video like secret and now talk about respect.
I don't want you to ever tell me about respect ever again.
Yosko tells us he is still undeniably attracted to her, but he's definitely not in love. And then he goes on to pull a Bojo and says a bunch of shit like, "You're amazing, Vanya. Any guy would be lucky to have you. I just don't want that guy to be me."
You're very beautiful, very amazing woman of so many talents. I wish you all the best.
Damn, girly must be getting so annoyed at hearing how amazing she is from all of these crusty, dusty men. Vanya tells us this is the story of her life, okay? She gives her absolute everything to all of these men who just keep on hurting her. And Brian, of course, chimes in to tell her that that sounds like a her problem.
Then you got to ask yourself why.
I don't
I'm
think
not
this-
saying to
this
blame
is on
yourself
me.
for it, but
Yeah.
we create our own problems, right?
Really big words coming from someone who thinks everyone else around him is the problem. We say goodbye to Vanya and her Croatian crumb bums, and we pivot over to Vanya and Sunny again. We revisit that time when Sunny found out Rory was in South Africa, and he basically told Vanya to fuck off and go diddle her ex-boyfriend.
What if he did the same thing? It would be just disaster. But he's supposed to accept that and be like, okay.
Vanya defends herself and she says that she asked a ton of people, but Rory just happened to be the only person who had absolutely nothing going on. Then Niles is like, "Girly, I am autistic, and even I know that is a no-no."
Even I know that that's one of those social cues that, you just shouldn't be doing that.
And then Niles is like, "I'm gonna need you to use all of your logic and tell me if you still think that that was a good idea."
With your brain completely engaged with logic taking front and center.
You're talking to me like I'm stupid, first off, Niles, and I'm not stupid.
And Vanya stands by her decision.
Do I regret bringing Rory to South Africa? No, I do not.
We then say hello to Rory, and everyone obviously questions whether him and Vanya still have a little sign going on. But Rory is very firm, and he tells us that they are just friends, and he genuinely went to South Africa just to make sure she was safe. Adnan says that Vanya knows both guys care for her, and she just wants to have her cake and eat it too.
Rory, you would like to be a spare tire?
No, it wasn't even like that.
Brian then continues to talk, and he has way too many words to say about the situation.
Oh, it's okay, it's nothing. But really it is something because now you got your ex-boyfriend poking at your bear.
In this particular situation, I just feel like the guy who has dated and cheated on half of the Brazilian female population should just, shut the fuck up. Sunny then chimes in and he's like, "Damn, y'all are really heated about a situation that isn't even a situation anymore."
I'm feeling good right now because me and Vea, we standing in a good position.
Brian does not look like he believes it, but who the fuck cares? Guy's an idiot. We pivot back to Loren and Faith, and we welcome Esther back onto the stage so that she can continue to defend Loren because she just thinks he's misunderstood.
I'm here to have his back because he's not the villain that everyone thinks he is.
Girly, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck. We get to revisit that time when Faith's friend caught Loren flirting with another girl, and his defense was that he only flirted with her to turn her down because Girly was 18. Sean asks him why he initially denied the flirting, and Loren decides to argue some semantics again, and he's like, "I didn't lie. She said I was flirting with a drag queen outside, but I wasn't, okay? I was flirting with a regular, barely legal girl across the street."
How on earth did she catch me talking to the girl who's like on the other side of the parking lot?
You just said catch me, so you know you're doing something wrong.
Loren chalks this whole thing up to miscommunication again. Joey and Niles calls him out on his bullshit, and Esther defends him, and she's like, "Whatever, okay? You guys just don't like him, so anything he says is gonna be wrong."
I mean, you just don't like him. You're just gonna be like, "Oh, full of."
You're making yourself look worse when you say that.
Am I?
Yes. Esther goes on to say that no one is listening to Loren, but girly, we are listening. We are listening so closely because it is Loren, and he has said some of the most batshit crazy things on this season. Also, if we were not listening, we would not have caught him in all of his lies. For example,
It was supposed to be a shoulder, but I was really drunk and I kind of stumbled and it became like a face touch.
I'll give you that. I
and I'm
feel
just like, damn it.
we know this is a lie because when Loren was telling Faith what happened, he said that he very intentionally put his hand on that girl's face to flirt with her so that he could turn her down.
I walked over to her and did one of these. I actually did.
Methinks it is actually you who is not doing any of the listening, dear Esther. Esther continues to bet on a horse with only 2 legs, and she accuses everyone of being close-minded because Loren is human. He isn't perfect.
I make mistakes too. You know what the difference is though? I don't have the brain power to do the mental gymnastics this man does.
Again, Niles out here just dropping straight facts. Niles goes on to say that Loren has never said sorry, and Loren is like, yes I did. Has Loren said the word sorry? Yes. Has he meant it? Absolutely not. 90% of the time that he said sorry, he blamed it on Faith, and the other 10% of the times that he said sorry, he did it because he needed to in order to get Faith to stay with him. Faith starts to cry and she says that Loren has said sorry, but she still ends up getting hurt.
Stop crying like you're losing the diamond or you're losing $10 million. Just, Loren, stop crying for that.
After hating every single word that has come out of his mouth so far, it is very refreshing to get words that I actually agree with. Anyway, Loren tells us that he is taking Faith to Thailand or Taipei with the intention of getting married, and Sean is like, wait, why would Faith go there to get married if she doesn't even consider the 2 of you engaged?
Faith does not consider you her fiancé.
Just make a choice by the time we go there.
Why would she go?
It's a full paid vacation.
There's a part of me that really hopes that Faith is just using Loren at this point. Like, Girly is just here so that she can get that free vacation, and when she gets there, she is gonna ghost him, have the time of her life, and then go home without him. Then, Faith tells everyone that Loren only told her he was taking her on a vacation. He never mentioned the possibility of them getting married.
Never spoke about that.
There's no way. I don't have my phone right now, but totally I told you.
Buddy, you think that saying, I'm crashing at my friend's tonight is the same as saying, I'm gonna be having sex with my friend tonight, okay? I do not care what you said, you did not tell her that the trip was to get married. Everyone in that room finally agrees on something, and they are all like, Girly, break up with him. And she does.
I do really love you.
That's okay.
Push me to make
I'm
the
not
decision.
pushing you.
It's a no.
And that, my Panda Pals, is all I have for you today. I am so happy that this episode was just an hour long. And it wasn't utter madness. Like, it actually made sense. This tell-all is a 4-parter, so the next recap on this will be the last, thank God. Other than that, if you are not subscribed yet, go ahead, click that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and let me know in the comments what you thought of this one. I cannot wait to see you for the next one, and as always, thanks for not letting me ride this train wreck alone. Bye!